people may be very surprised knowing how passionate I am about visioning, that I was one of those people that if I found out once I got to a meeting that we were going to be visioning, I would be trying to figure out how I could get out of that room. And if I knew in advance we were going to be visioning, I was very likely not to show up to that meeting. And so to go from that to have started a ministry and have devoted my life to sharing this powerful spiritual practice with all of humanity is quite a shift. And all I can tell you is that I went to a visioning workshop facilitated by Reverend Joan Stedman, who was one of the founding members of Agape. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that the workshop was on visioning. I went because I had always admired her from afar. It never occurred to me the workshop was going to be on visioning. So when I got there, I realized before I'd already paid and I realized the workshop's on visioning. I thought, oh, well, I guess I'm going to learn about this. And in that workshop, I caught a vision, but more importantly, a vision caught me, and it wouldn't let me go. And it has not let me go, lo, these many years. And that vision I wasn't conscious at the time, like, oh, I'm going to become passionate about visioning. I'm finally going to understand it. I'm going to love it. And I'm going to start facilitating workshops. And then I'm going to, write a book, and I'm going to start a ministry. I'm going to do all these things. I just knew that all of a sudden it made sense. And I began to follow the breadcrumbs because that's what visioning does. And I found myself talking about it, and people would ask me questions and say, well, can you lead a visioning session for me? And I said, well, I'm new to this. And they were like, well, you spent all this time jazzing me up about it, so I want you to facilitate a visioning for me. And people were very insistent, and they said, you'll figure it out as you go. And this was over 20 years ago. This was before we had Zoom and we had the internet in the way that we did. And so, the information that's out about visioning now wasn't there. Reverend Michael hadn't written his book. He hadn't created his audio program. So it was a bunch of us just who had discovered visioning, and we were trying to figure it out. And, it was what it was because we were looking at it from the mindset of visualization and trying to make things happen, and the old wineskins, as the Bible says. Yes. And so whenever we looked at what it was and tried to do it, we were looking at it from the framework of how we'd always done things, how you manifest, how you make things happen. And so when I went to the workshop with Reverend Joan, at the time I'd never gone to a workshop with Reverend Michael, it was the first time it made sense. Mm-hmm. And I just started becoming the vision, not knowing that's what I was doing. And like I said, a vision got in my spirit and it wouldn't let me go. And I couldn't let it go. And I still can't let it go. So that's kind of how all of this started. Was I went to a workshop. I got excited about it. As those of you who are here are excited about it, you probably have some version of the same story. That's why we're here. And here we are at this time in the world where I think the most important thing I know that I can do and that I've been doing is going within, seeing this as an opportunity to reset.